Importing modified cars, aftermarket parts and customs regulations. Welcome back to our customs brokerage video series. In today's episode, we are going to address a common question that many importers have. Can I import a modified car with aftermarket parts from Canada? If you're someone who loves car modifications and is looking to import a customized vehicle, then this video is for you. Before we dive into the specifics of importing a modified car from Canada, let's first understand the concept of customs brokerage. Customs brokerage is a service that assists importers and exporters in complying with the customs regulations of their respective countries. A customs broker acts as an intermediary between the importer, exporter, and the government authorities, ensuring smooth and compliant movement of goods across international borders. Now, back to our main question. Can you import a modified car with aftermarket parts from Canada? The answer is both yes and no. Let me explain. If your modifications are purely cosmetic and do not affect the structural integrity or safety of the vehicle, then it is generally permissible to import such a modified car. Examples of cosmetic modifications include changes to the body kit, paint job, wheels, interior enhancements, and audio systems. However, it is important to note that regulatory requirements may vary from one country to another, so it's always advisable to check with the customs authorities of your country before importing a modified car. On the other hand, if your modifications involve changes to the engine, exhaust system, suspension, or any other components that impact the performance or safety of the vehicle, you may face certain restrictions and additional requirements when importing the car. In such cases, you may need to provide additional documentation and certifications to demonstrate that the modifications comply with the regulations and standards of your country. This could include emission test reports, safety certifications, engineering reports, and any other relevant documentation. Another important aspect to consider when importing a modified car with aftermarket parts is the customs bond. A customs bond is a financial guarantee that ensures the importer complies with all customs regulations and pays any duties, taxes, or penalties that may arise during the import process. The bond acts as a form of insurance for the customs authorities and is typically required for commercial importations. However, it's worth noting that customs bond requirements may vary depending on the value of the vehicle and the specific customs regulations of your country. Consulting with a customs broker is highly recommended to ensure you meet all the necessary bond requirements when importing a modified car. Lastly, it is essential to be aware of the Importer Security Filing (ISF) requirements when importing a modified car with aftermarket parts. The ISF is an electronic filing that must be submitted to U.S. Customs and Border Protection (CBP) at least 24 hours before the vehicle is loaded onto the vessel at the foreign port. Failure to comply with ISF requirements can result in penalties and delays in the clearance process. The ISF filing requires detailed information about the imported goods, including the consignee, seller, buyer, part numbers, country of origin, and more. It is crucial to ensure accurate and timely submission of the ISF to avoid any complications during the importation process. In conclusion, importing a modified car with aftermarket parts from Canada is possible, but it depends on the nature of the modifications and the customs regulations of your country. Cosmetic enhancements typically have fewer restrictions, while modifications that impact performance and safety may require additional documentation and certifications. Don't forget the importance of customs bonds and meeting importer security filing requirements to ensure a smooth importation process. We hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any more questions or topics you'd like us to cover, please let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our upcoming videos. Disclaimer note below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.